Roundtable here on WATD this morning. We are the lead-in show for all things talk radio here on WATD. I have Melissa in the house with me this morning.
Hello.
Hi. I feel like it's like welcome
home.
back, Sharon. Yeah, how you been, where you been, and all that good stuff. And of course, we have the one and only Tim McKinney in the house over there at WATD taking care of us, and we're not throwing any curveballs at him today.
No, and good morning. Welcome back, Sharon. Yes, yeah, come on, everybody. Woo! Yay! All right.
Yeah, it feels like I've been taking on some rest and relaxation.
You need that sometimes.
You certainly do, for sure. And yeah, it's been great. So, Melissa, you've been holding down the show for me, so thank you for that.
Oh, of course. Anything for you, Sharon.
Yeah, you've had some great guests.
Yeah. This past Tuesday, of course, we had Jasmine Glasgow and George Post from Maritime Mortgage. And that was a really great show. So if you want to listen to it, talkrealestateroundtable.com or go to your podcast app, Talk Real Estate Roundtable. We just they are such numbers nerds.
Oh, yeah.
Rightfully so.
That.
They need to be. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, I talked about my journey sort of because everybody knows I'm pre-approved with Maritime Mortgage, specifically their team. So it was great to have them on and sort of share some experiences that I've had in the journey with them, and they had nothing but nice things to say about us too. So there
awesome.
we go. Yeah, but it was great. I loved that show.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to have to listen in on that one because they were in the office on Tuesday, so we were talking about some different things that are going on in the industry and, trying to get, focused on those types of things. So, which is great because, Jasmine and George are always very happy to come into the office when we ask them to. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. And I also want to say that I know that people are listening to us because when I see people out in the wild and they realize who I am, I know I should have said that as soon as you were taking a sip of your hot coffee, but one of the first questions that everybody asks me is, did you find a house yet? So, and I love, and no, I haven't, but I love that everybody out there is sort of rooting for me and hoping that I do get that soon. So I appreciate all of you guys.
The right one will come. It will happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And, you can't help, the different strategies that different agents use in our industry in order to drum up more business. I'll just put it out there. So you definitely went through a situation this week, and I think that that's exactly what happened to you. But, that's part of it, and that's just the way, it wasn't that one. I'm just gonna just a little tidbit say where I was this week.
Yeah.
So I had, and it made me think of it when you said out in the wild. So I actually took Mary Horton, my team member. I took her to Kripalu, and that's in the Berkshires, and it's beautiful out there, Stockbridge, and just gorgeous property that they have there. I did not realize it was previously owned by Jesuits, which, no wonder that's my calling to go there. But it's a yoga meditation centering type environment. That's what that is. That's what Kripalu is. And they have different programs. So the program that I signed us up for was sort of like a work-life balance and alleviating stress. And I just think that that's just an important thing to do, especially in our industry where everybody has heard me say it on here. It just feels very reckless. Yeah. And even seeing you going through what you're going through. I mean, it's very emotional. It's very stressful. So I just thought that this would be a good place for us to sort of, go and learn some techniques and tools on how to be better at managing our stress and have a work-life balance so we don't get resentful towards this business. And it makes us better for our clients, for my agents, for our staff. As we were talking about it, it was very much workshop related, and there's two stories I want to tell, so maybe this won't be about real estate at all today. So one of the first story was, the first night we were talking, and he was just the speaker was amazing. He actually had a book. I actually bought his book. It's Yoga in the Pursuit of Happiness, so I can't wait to dive into that. But we were talking, and he was talking about what was going to happen through this process, and then he asked if anyone had any questions, and of course I did. I always did. So
of course I did.
And I always do, right? So I asked, so what happens, we're here, we're in this very Zen-like atmosphere and environment, but when we go back, the stress is still going. I feel like it's very like our industry especially. It's just like
Yeah.
fast, right? Like the rates are going up. I can't get a house. I need to go over asking. I have to waive my home inspection.
Yeah.
Like, all these different
And I
variables.
tried not to bother either one of you because during the whole time, I'm like, I can handle it all. Like, it's not a big deal.
Well,
But
we didn't have our phones either.
yeah. Yeah. Well, you did sneak and call
Yeah.
me on Wednesday night and they're like, okay, I'm going to call my husband now. I go, the both of you need to call your husbands. Get off the phone with me. Why are you calling me first? The office is fine. Call your husband. Jeez.
I know. I call Melissa before I call Mark, but hey, whatever. So anyway, so we're in there and I brought this up. I was like, so how do you, like, what is this process going to feel like? I said, because honestly, I don't know if I'm all in yet. This is
Yeah.
the first night. It was 7 to 9. I said, I don't know if I'm all in yet.
And the guy was like, what have I gotten myself into? This lady.
Because I don't want it to hurt more when I
Yeah.
get back,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be like the one that's like sitting in a yoga move and everybody's
Well,
gonna be
you're
going
jumping
by.
right back into it. I mean, we're at an 8 a.m. show, and then
Yeah.
you have an open house for the next 2 hours afterwards,
And
you
then
know?
I have to
and-
do a bunch of bookkeeping
yeah,
stuff for the office.
so
So when I asked the question, he said, so to sort of simplify your question, you're asking how re-entry is. I'm like, re-entry? Like in my head, I'm like, re-entry. I was like, oh my God, I think we joined a cult, maybe,
Yeah.
perhaps.
aliens.
Aliens. That's all I could think of was ancient aliens. So re-entry. So Mary and I was thinking as we were driving home yesterday in the pouring rain, and I was just like, at what point it's like, are we like re-entering? You know what I mean? Like we're re-entering. And like I just expected it to like,
Yeah.
like sort of bounce me back for a second before I could push through.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever watch Once Upon a Time?
No.
Oh, well, it's kind of like it's like a town that you can't leave, and
Oh,
it's like
really?
it's like a Disney show or whatever, but for like adults. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
on ABC or something, and like there's like a literal like you could see you enter the town and then you can't enter. You can't
well,
leave the
okay,
town.
That's what I sort of felt like. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was just so peaceful. I did yoga every morning at 6:30, and I learned some really good skills on meditation. And I know I sound hokey right now, but it's meditation and centering. And I'm just sure that these tools that I learned are going to make me a stronger me, which is going to make me better for everyone else who's around me. So, but okay, so now I have story number 2. Don't worry, Tim, we'll get into real estate at some point. So story number 2 is, so on that first night, there's like floor, you can sit on the floor, and they had like some chairs and stuff like that. So Mary and I were sitting in the back and had some chairs. We got there late because we had our meeting here Tuesday with Jasmine and George. And this one gentleman was speaking. I couldn't see him, and he said, "I'm just hoping that people take the opportunity to be vulnerable in this, in this process. There's 50 of us, and I just hope that it isn't too big, and that people take that opportunity." So I sort of looked at Mary, and you know how Mary is. Mary's not being vulnerable with nobody,
No.
right? So we get back to the room that night. I go, all right, so here's the deal. We know who not to sit next to. Like, we're not going near whoever that was that just said that. So I never saw him. Guess who I sat next to every single day during the process? Like we became best friends. My friend Malcolm.
Oh my God.
I told him the story yesterday. I was like, I just have to tell you. So anyways, that's my story. But I feel great. It was wonderful. And I think that everybody should take that time to do that. And one of the things that was really interesting too, and maybe our listeners don't fully understand what we do. And I think it was very insightful for the people because we went into small groups. And, people think of real estate agents like, oh, you put a sign on the yard and you sell a house, like big deal. Or you take me out to look at a house and we put an offer in, big deal. Well, the thing is, our day is starting when yours ends. So we were there with a lot of educators and a lot of people from the medical field. I was like, so like you get into work and every 15, 20 minutes you have a new patient. You're an educator. You go into your classroom and every 30, 45 minutes the bell is going to ring and you're going to have a new wave of students. That doesn't happen for us. Mm-hmm. Our day sort of starts when yours stops. So when you get out of work at 5 o'clock, that's when you're calling us to ask us your questions, which is, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just trying to bring some insight. When you want to see properties and, around here, daylight savings is in first weekend in November, like it's getting dark now. So that's when our day starts. But what you don't know is what we're doing from Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 as well, is we're talking to the attorneys. We're meeting people for appraisals. We're doing the smoke search. We're meeting the water department. We're doing, did I say home inspections? Like we're doing all those other things in between. If we have a listing, we're doing the marketing. We're doing the promoting. We're learning so we can be our best selves. We're doing all those things Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Then when people get out of work, we're helping them. And then on weekends, guess what we get to do?
What?
Open houses.
You get to work.
Yeah, I get to work again. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's really insightful so you can see why people can easily get burnt out in this industry. So that was one of the important reasons why, Mary and I have a new subdivision, and I thought this is a really good time for us to sort of center ourselves.
Yeah.
And get on track.
It's interesting that you say that because I had this conversation with both Jasmine and George after the show on Tuesday and with Matt Mahoney. So, yes, I did have an offer on a property this week. It did not pan out the way that I would hope it would. Matt Mahoney was very encouraging during the whole process, and I think he was more upset that I didn't get it than I was. But, I said to all three of them, I'm like, I don't know how much more rejection I have in me. And I didn't realize how, like anything else, you don't realize how impactful something is until you're going through it. And to get your hopes up and to be let down over and over and over again, I'm sort of not surprised with some of the behavior that the buyers are. And I know that we were saying oh, it's the buyer's fault. It's the buyer's fault. It's I'm exhausted. I just want to live the dream like everybody else and buy a house. But right now it's so difficult, and I'm living that what feels like every single week.
Yeah.
So.
And I can see that in you, you know what I mean? And it's I see you in your office and I see you doing your thing. And I didn't even know that I actually brought that house to your attention. And you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to. And then Mark came home one day and I was like, oh, how was your day? He goes, oh, I went and looked at that house with Melissa. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You didn't ask me? But, I hope you do reflect on the things I say, because I've been sort of right a couple times.
I know.
Now.
Well, in fairness, Matt did bring it to my attention beforehand. And I said to you, I was like, yeah, Matt talked to me about it, but it's at the top of my budget. It's, whatever. And then the weekend happened. And I don't know if anything, the outcome would have been any different had I seen it sooner. But
no, I don't think it would have been that. I just think, just, there's some different things that happened during that one, which are very unfortunate, but they're stuck in my memory.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is a process, and like you said, it will happen when it's supposed to happen. It's just now being in it myself, it's so interesting because I've been in the industry for 9 years now, but the past solid year, I've been looking for me personally, and you just again, you don't know until you go through it.
It's almost like you're our lab experiment.
Yeah,
and for our listeners, though, you know what I mean? I bet you there are listeners right now that are probably saying, I can't believe she still hasn't found a house. I mean, we are in the industry.
I know.
We know about houses coming on the market before everybody else.
Yeah.
And we still can't get you the one.
Yeah.
It's like the competition. And again, you know what? Maybe we do get into some psychological, you know what I mean? What's the
Finish
word?
The sentence and I'll let you know
what's the word I'm looking for there, Tim? More of a conversation of why are we here? What do we need to do to make it so everybody does get that opportunity to have home sweet home? What do we have to do? And we've talked about it. Does there have to be new construction, more affordable new construction? I'm here today to talk to you about new construction. And I understand that the price points are high, but you need to understand the reason why is because the builders, the cost of the land, the cost of the engineering, the cost to put the road in, the cost to put the utilities in, the cost of supplies right now, the cost of contractors right now, the cost of everything is so high. And how do we control that?
Yeah. And they're not building little 2-bedroom ranches anymore, what everybody is looking for. So every time a little 2-bedroom ranch comes on, you got 15 offers, because I'm one of them and I'm competing with the other 14.
I know.
So. And I will say, preface, I'm not getting these houses not because I'm not qualified. I'm very well qualified.
Yeah,
Jasmine calls
in 3 weeks. I mean,
Jasmine calls every single listing agent that I put an offer in on. It's just being up against, like I said, 15 other people who probably are very similar or, have something to give away that I don't.
Well, and not only that too, though. I mean, this is, we know the back end story of like the property that you were buying, and not for us to share, but I think that the motivation of the seller is very indicative of how you're going, like if your offer is going to get accepted or not, because some people may love the fact that you have a cat named Zoe, and they're like, I want a single woman who's a hard worker. Like that's the person we have to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that fits your profile.
Yeah.
Almost like a dating app,
I
right?
know. But then again, like we say so many times, like don't write love letters. You're not allowed to do that. Like all that stuff, whatever. I have written a love letter. I've written a couple.
But I think in this last situation for you, it was their situation that caused them to choose another offer.
Yeah.
Now, I know that the listing agent on that had a conversation with you, and I probably feel the same way, that maybe something more sure probably makes more sense. But hey, people have to go through their own processes, and some people are motivated by the money aspect, some people are motivated by the contingencies that are involved, or the conditions.
I almost feel like at some point I want to be like, okay, just have us all like on a jury, and we just plead our case, because I want to be like, I'm this and I'm this and I'm this. Please.
I still want to do the dating game in this office. Like I just want a bunch of people who are considering selling their house, but they're not ready to pull the trigger. So we'll have people of every range. Oh, I'm selling a ranch. I'm selling a 4-bedroom colonial. I'm selling a condo. Have a bunch of people in our office, and then we have a bunch of people in the office who want to buy a condo, who want to buy a 4-bedroom colonial. I bet you the people who are selling the small capes in the ranch want to buy the 4-bedroom colonial. Like we could just have a mashup in here.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with like one person who wants to sell me their house. You can come here. You can come to Boston Connect Real Estate, located in Pembroke Center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give
us a ringling.
I know we are sort of off topic. We are going to continue our conversation with new construction, because you do have a new development in Hanson that you started doing open houses at last weekend.
I did.
And you are there today and tomorrow from 10 to 12, correct?
Yes, I am. Yep. So I'm doing 10 to 12. Mary is with this. It's the same developer in a different development. So I'm at Cushing Trails in Hanson off of Spring Street. And Mary, and so it's, if you put in your GPS 468 Spring Street, that will bring you right to Cushing Trails entrance. And then Mary is at Cochise Estates in West Bridgewater. So you can put in Mattacomet Road, and that will get you over there. Mary's there 11 to 3. Excuse me. It's nice because ours is rough. So when you walk into mine, it's just studs. So you have to come with imagination. And I had these little business cards made. So it gives you Google Maps, gives you directions over to where Mary is. So it gives you time to leave me, go over there, and look at what the finished product looks like. I just want to give our phone number. If you have any questions for us, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. Obviously, we were very off topic this morning, so if you want to talk to us about anything, just give us a call. I don't even care if it's real estate.
Yeah, just talk to us. We are live on Facebook, too, so be sure to follow Boston Connect Real Estate, all of the Connect pages. Hello, we're waving to you, or if you want to wave back. Yep. We do have quite a few people watching us, so. But yeah. Anyways, so that's life.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
Breakfast at Kripalu is silent.
Silent breakfast. And you said what to Mary? Melissa would hate the food here?
Yes. Well, I got very nervous yesterday. Yeah. I got a rice cake with peanut butter on it.
Yeah.
And I looked over and I saw the jelly right next to it. And I was like, there are so many people that are allergic to peanut butter. Like, what if somebody dips the peanut butter? Like, see, that's why I'm there, because I overthink everything.
Yeah. I would have to have like a serious evaluation of the cross-contamination possibilities.
I am letting you know that I do not think it would be.
It's not something that I think I could.
Every single day was our journey to find something that you would eat.
That's so funny. I love that. Well, thank you for thinking of me.
Well, because I told you I wanted to bring you there, but I think it would be a miserable experience for you. Because if I couldn't eat, I would be miserable, right?
Yeah.
So like, and I'm telling you, and it's not because you're picky; it's because of your sensitivities,
my allergies,
right? Yeah. So in the almond thing, like, I'm sorry. Like, I would
Yeah.
be more stressed knowing that you were there eating from that salad
Yeah.
bar than anything else.
Yeah.
One of those
and
almonds slips in.
you would think that there are almonds all around that place, right? From what you've
It-
what you've been describing. They make their own. We used to call it gorp in high school. We would make our own gorp too. So it's like grains, oats, raisins, peanuts, like
They had raisin sauce.
put it okay. Put it all together. So we'd make our own gorp, but like it's everybody can choose what they want in it. But yeah, I could just imagine you guys sitting around making your own gorp, like,
Yeah.
oh,
No, there were a lot of things
you're like,
I
oh,
didn't even eat.
almonds.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I didn't even eat. But anyway, so we are so sidetracked today. But again, call us, 781-837-4900. Let's get into our new construction. I know we have a bunch of open houses going on with the office today as well. We'll get into those at the end, too. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we talked about new construction, sort of the beginning. It was really more an intro to
two
Cushing,
Saturdays ago.
to my development. So let me tell you a little bit about that if you didn't hear me a couple weeks ago. Cushing Trails is a 40-unit subdivision that I am marketing, and it is located in Hanson, right off of Spring Street. So if you go to 468, excuse me, Spring Street, you will get there. So if you're familiar with Route 58 and where that turn is, where Damien's is, you just take that right is, or what it matters which way you're coming, I guess. Spring Street is like sort of across from that, and we're down on the right, less than an eighth of a mile down. It is 40 units. They are duplexes. They are beautiful. We do have them online, so you can certainly find them online. And 7 Hayward. I'm sort of getting the streets confused, but it is at Cushing Trails. Yeah. So sorry about that. It's new, so I'm sorry that I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's Hayward. And so of the units, we're going to have 3 different styles. We're going to have the Whitman, the Hanson, and the Pembroke. So the Hanson is the majority of the units I have down there now. So I have 2 buildings there right now. So that's 2 buildings, 4 units. I have 3 Hansons and I have 1 Whitman. So the Hanson layout is 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, and it is about 2,600 square feet of space. It is humongous, and there's a 1-car garage. Those are starting, and the base price on those are $630.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay. And then the Whitman is 2-bedroom with an office on the 2nd floor, and that's about 1,900 square feet of space, and the base price on those are $570. So we have all kinds of nice upgrades. We're still finalizing all of our final specs and our upgrade list and all of that good stuff. So this is sort of like a pre-launch for us, but we already have several people who are interested.
Yeah, Howland.
7
Howland and 5 Howland. But there is a GPS. There is a GPS address. Let me grab that for you. It's on Spring Street. So because it's new construction, like any other new construction development, it can be hard to find, even though it is very easy to find on Spring Street. So let me just bring up the address. You keep talking.
486 Spring Street.
486 Spring Street. Yep.
Yep. 486 Spring Street. We'll get you right there, so you can find us right off of Route 58, across from Damien's. Take that road. So with the units, again, we have the 3. Then the other those four units, and then we're going to have the 3rd model style is going to be the Pembroke. So the Pembroke is going to be 2 bedrooms and an office on the 2nd floor with a 2-car garage. So
nice.
so those are going to be, the base price on those are going to be $630,000.
Yeah. But even the way that it's designed with the 1-car garage, there is opportunity. Like you have a driveway too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have a driveway. We're going to
yeah.
be doing a little like sort of bump out onto the driveway, so you don't have to do the I was going to say transom, but that's a boat.
Turnaround?
Tandem.
Oh.
Tandem parking. So, so we'll talk a little bit about like the process of new construction. One of the things that I think, if you are going for new construction, I guess one of the questions that you should be asking is it custom or semi-custom? And, I'm just noticing the time right now, so should we take a break? I don't know if we're even ready for a break.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
we
can get into it
well, let's
after.
take a break
Tim?
and we'll get into it.
Yes, let's take a break.
All right, perfect. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll actually talk about
Yeah,
real
we'll
estate.
actually talk about it.
Let's face
We
it,
have been talking
we all
about
get to
real
the point in
estate.
our lives when our current home no longer suits our everyday needs. With ever-changing living dynamics, addressing your future is all about right-sizing. You know, finding the right size home for you right now. Are the walls echoing because your house is feeling a little less full? Are you realizing that you have more space than you actually need? Are your storage areas filled with everybody else's cherished memories? Let us help you find the right size for you right now. I'm Sharon McNamara, the broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team, or one of the dedicated agents at Boston Connect Real Estate to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with us at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Let's face it, we all get to the point in our lives when our current home no longer suits our everyday needs. With ever-changing living dynamics, addressing your future is all about right-sizing. You know, finding the right size home for you right now. Are you ready to pay your own mortgage rather than somebody else's? Are you looking forward to living under your own roof? Do you often dream about buying your first home, but you're not sure where to begin? Let us help you find the right size for you right now. I'm Sharon McNamara, the broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team, or one of the dedicated agents at Boston Connect Real Estate to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with us at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000.
We now return to Talk Real Estate, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services on 95.9 WATD.
And we are back. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined by the one and only Sharon McNamara, broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We are talking all things new construction. I promise we are getting into our topic. We just had to get some
already
things.
lost everybody.
Yeah, we get some things. No, we have plenty of people watching us on Facebook. Oh, we have a call.
Oh, great.
Yes, we do. We've got the lovely Jean in Pembroke.
Hello, Jean in Pembroke.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. I just have a couple of quick questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. Regarding the developments that you've been talking about in Cushing Trails,
Yeah.
You said that they're duplexes.
Yes.
So, is there like a condo fee, or how does that work?
Yes, there is a condo fee, and that is a great, great question. And that is really a good question if anybody is looking for a condo and they do decide to go to new construction. So each of the units do have a condo association, and each model type has a different one. It's based on the square footage. So the smaller units are starting at $349. The larger unit is at $389. And I know a lot of times people are like, wow, that seems like a high HOA fee for a new development. And I want to tell everybody is what that is a very realistic HOA fee. So a lot of times when you're looking at new construction, and I've had developments myself in the past, and that fee tends to be lower when you do new construction. But one of the things that I am seeing and witnessing firsthand, in the area of the South Shore is they start low. And the reason why a lot of times they start low, now I'm saying mine are realistic and they will stay there, okay? The thing with the ones that are lower, what ends up happening is they're low because the contractor and the developer, he's the one that's doing the plowing. He has the resources to be doing the landscaping. He's taking care of all of that, right? So then once the association takes that over, so the homeowners, when there's 25% left, I believe that's the number, they can take over the association, but in most cases the builder and developer will hold on to it till the very end, and then they pass it over to the association. What I am seeing in several developments, and this is one of the things you need to check if you are buying a resale, is you want to make sure that you're looking at the budget, and most importantly, you want to make sure that you're looking at the reserves. The reserves is the big number, because some of these developments that are 10, 15 years old, 20, they're creeping up. If the roof goes, if the driveways go, if something happens to the septic systems, the irrigation, if there's any big ticket item, gutters, whatever, if there's no reserve, that means that every one of those homeowners is going to have a special assessment. So our developers actually put a plan in place where and then the condo fees go up. This is one of the problems that I see and we could do a whole show on this. So this is such a great question. I'm so glad that you brought it up. One of the things that happens is when you're purchasing new construction, and let's just say that that fee is $200,
Yeah.
right? Well, that's what you're basing your mortgage on, okay? Not everybody can go in and just buy cash, okay? So you're basing your mortgage on that 200. Well, if that fee goes up because it has to, because there is no reserve,
Yeah.
there are going to be people that are not going to be able to afford it. And then what ends up happening, now you're in this in between, because once that development takes over, they have the choice: do we want to go to a management company, or do we want to self-control it ourselves, right, and self-manage it? The ones that are self-managing it, they tend to listen to the emotions of the people living there. I can't afford to do anymore. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. So they hold it off. That's really not a good business decision. A
Yeah.
management company is going to go in and say, hey, listen, I'm doing the future forecasting, and if you don't start bringing up your condo fees in 10 years, if there is anything could happen, if the
Yeah,
roofs go,
yeah.
whatever, then we're not going to have the money to replace it. So in our condos, our HOA fee is going to include money that's being put aside for a management company. So we're going to have a reserve for a management company. We're going to have a reserve for the septic systems, because it is on Title V. It is on a septic system. We're going to have a reserve for the maintenance. So when we're finished with this project, probably in a couple of years, and we hand it over, the owners will have that option to go to a management company. And I always suggest it. A management company is going to run it like a business, not with emotions, right? So
will they vote? I'm sorry. Will they vote on that at that point?
Yes. So that will be the
Okay.
choice of the homeowners, that they get to decide what they wanted to do. What's also included in our association fee is irrigation. So in the front of every one of the units, it will be irrigation, which is nice because everybody's grass and everything will all be, watered the same. So we have the irrigation will be included, the well that goes to that, and the electricity that goes to that. That will be included. The master insurance will be included. So if there was ever like a trip and fall or anything like that, that would be included. And the insurance for the exterior of the building. So the homeowner is responsible for the interior of the building. So if the siding it went, or if the roof went, any of those types of things, the porches, the decks. And then the septic pumping will also be included in that. Of course, the landscaping and the snow removal. And with these units, the snow removal also will do your walkway and your stairs. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, which is why
That's
people,
awesome.
that's why people want to go in there. Yeah. And I think
Okay. So I'm sorry. So if the roof went on one of the units, that would be covered by the
by the
condo
by the
fee.
HOA. Yep. So if the roof
The
leaks,
HOA,
it's covered.
okay.
Yeah. And that's what I said. Going in there with a realistic number. I'd rather people go in there and me saying, "Hey, this is $349 or $389 if you're going for the larger unit, $379 for the middle unit." I'd rather be realistic, and so you can financially plan for what your future is looking like, and you have no surprises. It's a much better, comfortable way to be. One of the other things with this development that I've never seen, now I've been selling real estate for 21 years. I would say of my career, 19 of them have been on new construction and developments. And this is the first time I've seen this, even in a resale. If you're familiar with Oak Point, they have like what they call an envelope. So you have that land is yours that you can do whatever you want with. So in the back of all of our units, we are going to have an envelope. And it will be the width of your unit, and it will go out 15 to 20 feet, depending on like our buffer and how far we can go. As the homeowner, you can fence in that area. I've never seen that before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
I didn't
great?
even know that.
Yeah. So you
Wow,
can,
that's great. Yeah.
so if you have a small dog, or if you have something, you can just open up the door and put it
Yeah.
out there.
So, and I just want to make a comment to that. So, these are being built by Stonebridge Homes, who have built a thousand homes. This is the difference between building with somebody who has built 1,000 homes. Every development as you go on in time, like makes the little changes like that.
Yeah.
Like because they know
Makes it better.
homeowners, this is what they want. This is what's going to sell. Like so, I love that you just said that.
Yeah, and in that area, if you choose to fence in your area, then you could put like, a patio set or something like that. The only thing is, though, when you do that, you are waiving the landscaping in your backyard because you can't take the responsibility for them to go behind everybody's fence. So other than that, though, the open space, like if you put a couple chairs out behind your place, you would be responsible to take those in because when the landscapers come, you also don't want lawsuits, right? So you don't want the landscaper to nick somebody's patio furniture or break the glass or something on like their table, right? So those items you won't be able to be stationary. But if you did fence off your area, you could do that. So I'm really excited about that aspect.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah. Well, I'll be down there today and tomorrow from 10 to 12, always available by appointment. It's about 5 miles from my office. So anytime anybody wants to go and see it, they certainly can. Did you have any other questions about it? I know you had a couple.
Yeah, I had a couple more questions. For the heat, is it oil or gas or electric?
It is electric. So what we have, so it isn't electric like you're thinking the old way. It's not electric like baseboard. This is a heat pump. This is the wave of the future. This is the way the whole world is going because, you know, they're putting in guidelines and regulations to get rid of fossil fuels. I mean, it's something that our hands are sort of tied from. So you are going to see this anyways. I know that a lot of those regulations are changing. The energy codes and everything are changing again July 2024. So you're going to see even more of it. We're just ahead of the curve. It's super, super efficient systems. They're called a heat pump. So it is how you get your how you get your heat and your AC. It looks and feels very much like forced hot air. So you'll have not baseboard, but like vents on the first floor, and up on the second floor you'll have vents in the ceiling, and it works exactly the same way. People get nervous when they hear electric. I want to tell people not to be. So we have the other development in West Bridgewater. A couple of our clients there, Mary was talking to them. Their units are probably the same size or a little bit bigger over at Cochise, and his largest electric bill this summer was $281. So that includes your AC, your heating, your of course it includes his AC for the summer, his cooking, his dryer, his lights. I mean, that's everything. So very, very efficient.
Reasonable, yeah, for a big home.
Yeah. So when people hear electric heat, they think of electric baseboard. Remember, that was probably like in the 60s or something that they did those, right? Where every room had its own thermostat. It's not that. This has 2 zones, up and down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And another question regarding that, where it's electric, are the wires underground?
Yes.
From like the where it comes in, like from National Grid or whatever the electric company is.
Yep, everything is.
It is underground.
Yep, everything is underground.
Okay, so in a storm, you don't have to worry about losing your electricity.
Exactly, but we also have the option if you wanted to put in for a generator. So if you wanted like a whole house generator that, you know, automatically kicks on, you would then have to, you know, get a program with like a propane company. So like at my house, I live in Pembroke, we have oil heat, which drives my husband crazy. But we do have, I whispered it just in case he's listening, but we do have a generator, a whole house generator that pops on, but we have a propane tank that takes care of that and my stove.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do a generator, you certainly could, or you could do one of those, you know, more portable ones that you would pull out of the garage. So we will have options for that when it comes to storms. But it's town water, so it's not well water. So that's one of the things too. When you lose electricity and you have well water, sounds funny to say you can't use your toilet, but you can't.
Yeah.
And where is the water? What's the water source?
It is town water.
But is it a reservoir or?
That I can look into. I am not exactly sure where Hanson gets their water from. I'm assuming that it is a reservoir because all the water from here does come from reservoirs. So I just don't know exactly where Hanson's is.
Oh, okay. Because in Pembroke, the water is from wells, even though it's town water.
Oh, I
It's
see what
from
you're saying.
wells.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I noticed, like, sometimes the water comes in kind of brown looking, and it was like, ooh, this is really safe to be drinking.
Yeah. So when that happens, because I'm in Pembroke too, I've been here 31 years, and you probably are familiar with our office right across the street from Stop and Shop, right in the Pembroke Center.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why the water turns brown is because of when they're flushing the hydrants. That's why that happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with, because I have a well at my house for irrigation, and I remember when they were putting the well in, they just said it was like we had the water tested. It was like the best water. So we must have like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good to know, because I'm new to Pembroke, so I wasn't sure whether it was really safe to drink or not.
Yes, we have actually really good quality water. I think they actually put like fluoride or something. They put different things in the water. So I remember that when my kids were younger. So yeah, definitely safe. And look at that. You've only been in Pembroke a little while, and you're thinking about moving already.
Yeah. According to my significant other, the house isn't big enough for him.
Oh my goodness! Well, Melissa's looking for a house, so if you have a smaller house, we can work something out with you.
We can work something out.
Oh, okay. Maybe, yeah, that might work out.
Yeah.
And then I had, let's see, what other question did I have? Oh, what is the exterior on these units?
The exterior on these units is vinyl, and I think that is good. Vinyl is good. I mean, people, and again, I think that sometimes people, like you asking about the electric heat, you can't go back and think about how things were in the 60s and 70s. You have to think about the technology that we have today. So with vinyl siding today, there is some vinyl siding, you can't even tell that it's vinyl siding. But vinyl siding, I would say from the standpoint, if I was going to be in a condo, I personally, everybody has their own opinion, I would like vinyl. It's easy to clean, it's easy to maintain.
Yeah.
I think that that's a really good place to be.
I agree. And what about the roof? Is it asphalt shingles, metal?
It's asphalt shingles, and they're the highest quality, 25, 30 year, whatever it is right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my specs right in front of me. Your name was Jean, right? Was it Jean?
Yeah.
People are going to think I paid you to call me today.
I know.
You are
Jean,
such a good interviewer.
I'm
loving
almost
this.
thinking that you should go to one of the open houses this weekend.
What other questions? Throw them at me. Is your significant other there with you too?
No, he's not with me right now.
Okay.
One more question, and this is not regarding the development, but regarding your trip to the Berkshires.
Yes.
What was the name of that? I don't know if you'd call it a facility.
Yeah, it was a facility. It was beautiful. It's called Kripalu. I have to spell it out on paper here. Hold on. Kripalu. 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 And if you are looking for an opportunity, it's very, I think it used to be a college of some sort. I know the Jesuits at one point owned it. And so it's very dorm-like style, but they have different levels of rooms that you can get. Like if you wanted to bunk with 5 other people, you could do that. For myself and Mary, I got a room with 2 twin beds in our private bathroom. I went, before COVID I went.
Yeah.
And I got a single room, but I had like a double bed or a queen-size bed. It was probably a double bed with my own bathroom. But it's very dorm-like style, not like a fancy hotel, but very nice, very clean. If the yoga was wonderful, the meditation was great. Oh, they did this one thing at night, Jean. I'm so glad you asked. It was like at 7:30 at night, and it wasn't a yoga, but it was just like a relaxation. So people like me who have self-proclaimed OCD tend to have our heads racing when we lay down at night. So
well, that's what happens to me. I've been having trouble sleeping, and it's like, oh, I got to find something to help me relax.
Kripalu
is your place, yes. And they did this whole session, and And thing with yoga there too, like I'm not very good at yoga, and I didn't feel awkward about the people who were doing backward bends because there was just as many people like me that could barely like get down on their hands and knees. So
Okay.
yeah, it was great.
Well, then they won't feel so bad.
Nope, it is very, very welcoming. And too, this is a beautiful time to go because they have a lake. So Mary and I walked down to the lake. And what else? There's like mountains. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's out in the
Oh,
Berkshires.
that sounds beautiful. I know that whole area is beautiful out there. And how was the food?
Well, it matters what type of food that you like. So for me, I was able to find something I liked. There was always a soup and a salad that I always had. They had other things too that you could, like every morning I had yogurt with granola and different things like that, but they always had like eggs. I can't really eat eggs. They just don't agree with me. I eat them, but I didn't want to do it while I was there. But they had French toast yesterday. They have a toast section. They have a bunch of fruit. They had shrimp scampi one night. So they have different things. Yeah. All
Yeah.
the soup. It's very healthy though. Like everything is very natural. So they have salt on the
nice.
table.
And is it set up like a restaurant, or is it
Okay.
like banquet tables, or?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of tables in a big cafeteria type room, and it has like a buffet style. So you just like you sort of get in line and you pick what you want and how much you want. Like one night they had mashed sweet potatoes, and I love sweet potatoes, so I just took.
Oh, I love sweet potatoes too.
Yeah, I took a whole bowl of them. So,
Oh.
yep, that's what I had. I had a whole bowl of those and a salad, and that's all I wanted. And one of the things I said to Mary too was, I said, it's so interesting is I never really felt hungry when I was there, and I was certainly eating different than I do when I'm home. Yeah, but a lot of like vegan type stuff, but it was really, really good. And I have to tell you, you just feel good with body, mind, and soul when you're there. And I'm not even that
nice.
person. I'm not even that person, Jean.
Uh-huh. Oh, that sounds great. And how was the cost? Was it very expensive?
No, it wasn't. It was very,
No.
we did a program, so, I have to sort of factor that into what I was doing as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Well, absolutely. If you have any questions, you can always get me offline too, so I can give you my cell phone number, 781-294-4848.
4848. Terrific. Thank you so much. And definitely I'll be checking out the development.
Well, that sounds great. I will be there every Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 12, but certainly by appointment as well.
All right. Terrific. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the
Thank you,
information.
Jean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jean.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
Yeah, and I'll pay you later for all those great questions.
All right. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, Jean.
Bye-bye now.
And Jean, if you're ever in the
Bye-bye.
area over at Stop and Shop, come on over, say hello to us.
Yeah, come say hi.
Oh, will do. I love that little center there.
Yeah, absolutely. Come say hi to us. We're
So-
always here.
Okay. Terrific. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. So that was Jean member.
Oh, we have another
She
caller.
has some great questions. You would think I paid her. Who else do we have?
I don't know. We
Yeah,
have five-
I don't know
we
if
have
you
5
paid her or
minutes.
she's writing a column or something. And yeah.
We love that.
Yeah, no, that was great. We have John in Plymouth. He had a follow-up comment or two.
Okay, John in Plymouth.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
John.
Hey, just quick question. I don't know if you can answer this, but whose decision is it going to be to make if it's going to be a management company for the HOA?
I believe that I will confirm, but from what I have seen in the past, it ends up being the people who live there. So at that point, when we hand it over to you, then that's when it becomes your decision. I'm just curious, do you prefer a management company or do you prefer homeowners taking care of it?
I would prefer homeowners because you hear of all the horror stories with HOAs and how they micromanage everyone. And to me, I know people who are in that situation, and that causes more costs as well.
Well, and I think
You have to pay the management company.
Yeah, so that's why I think where we're starting our HOA fees is already including that in our thought process. So, yes, I mean, if people decide that they want this to be ran by themselves and it's homeowners that get to run that development, then that we'll have the
you'll have
money.
that more in
We'll-
reserves.
We'll have that money in reserves to do it. The only reason why I would say that I think it's a good idea, and it's John, right? John, so like you sound like you're a very reasonable person from listening to your voice for 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you very much.
But not everybody is.
Yeah, but not everybody is. And sometimes you get into these, you get into these developments where it's people who don't have a business mind, who don't have, the qualifications to really run the development like a business. And that really truly is the way it is. Now, the HOA, you're probably talking about like the strict guidelines, like you can't put pink flamingos out in your front yard. Those are all condo docs. So that's part of like the condo association. So the people who, a management company isn't really the one that's being forceful on those things. Those are the things
They're
that are
budgeting the money.
Yeah, they're just the budgeting the money people, But like I recently sold a property in a condo. I was the listing agent on it. Wonderful, wonderful development. They are self-managed, and it was transferring of people. So like the new person who was doing the treasurer, wonderful, wonderful person. I want to say that from the bottom of my heart. He openly said, I'm just not good at like QuickBooks or Quicken or any of those things. So everything was handwritten. So it just made it really difficult for me when I was selling it because it didn't look like it was, it didn't look like it was as professional as it could have been.
Right. Well, I mean, that would be my concern because, I mean, obviously, it's human nature. You're going to have personality conflicts, and you're going to get people in positions that other people aren't going to be in favor of it. But, you pay to live, and you want to be able to live free and not have all that extra baggage.
Yep.
But thanks for answering that. But I just want to answer that previous caller's question on the water supply.
Yes.
According to the Hanson Water Department's website, they used to get their water up into the 1980s from Abington, Rockland, and Brockton. But now they have their own water supply from the Crystal Spring well field that is located in Hanson.
Oh, thank you so much for
Thank
looking that
you.
up. Yeah, no one's ever
Yeah,
asked
so
me
you
that
owe me a
question.
breakfast.
Well, you have to go down to the development and she'll give you some breakfast.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to take you out to
joking.
breakfast. But if you're going to visit me at the development, you have to bring me coffee, by the way. I'll pay you when you get there.
No problem.
All right. Well,
The
thank
other
you
day
so
I could have got you a free one at Dunkin's.
Yeah, I know. Well, you'll have to keep me in mind. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm there from 10 to 12, so I tend to forget my coffee. Yeah. So thank you. That was a
Okay, well,
really,
thanks
really
for-
great question. And yeah, I'm happy to talk to you more about the management aspect of things on that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're at the
Have
end.
a good
that's
one.
it. That's the end.
Yeah, that is the end of our show. If you want to, if you're interested in any of our open houses, you can find them on bostonconnect.com. You can find me this morning at Cushing Trails in Hanson. 486 Spring Street will get you there. I will be there from 10 to 12 today and tomorrow. Mary will be at Cochise Estates in West Bridgewater from 11 to 3. If you want to get in touch with me, 781-294-4848.
Yeah. BostonConnect.com. Find all of our contact information.
Perfect. Thank you, Tim. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like